I know what you're thinking right now. There's not enough Colin Cowherd in my life. I hear it every day from my family. Listen, if you want more, subscribe. Let's start by talking about the most head-scratching coaching move I've ever seen. So, something that's pretty obvious. It's almost like as a dad with my kids. I tell you how mature I think my kids are by the responsibilities I give my kids. That will tell you which kid I trust, which is good with money, which kid's good with responsibility. All kids are not the same. NFL coaches will tell you what they think about their quarterback's judgment and their quarterback's ability by their play calling. So Brandon Staley is the new coach of the Chargers. They go for it regularly in their own territory on fourth down because they have this immense trust in Justin Herbert, a 4.2 biology major, huge arm, great talent. And he's a kid, right? He's a kid. So, and that really, he's 8-1 in his last 9 games. And many of those have been decided by Herbert making big, late down plays, often on fourth down. The Cleveland Browns' Kevin Stefanski is telling you what he thinks of Baker. So the Chargers' offense is red hot. The Browns lead by 1. It's 3rd and 10. And they run the ball right into the line. You've got to be kidding me. So you're going to give Justin Herbert the ball back around midfield with his weapons at home in plenty of time. And he has roasted your defense for most of the day. I mean, again, if the game was 7-3 and you trusted your defense, I found it absolutely head-scratching. Kevin Stefanski, a really brilliant schematic coach, good with clock management, can't conveniently hide behind, I just couldn't see the clock. That's Mike McCarthy's excuse. You can't use that one. That's an indictment on Baker Mayfield. I mean, would you on 3rd and 10, do you think Brandon Staley runs that ball? Andy Reid with Mahomes, Sean McDermott with Josh Allen, Bruce Arians with Brady, Matt LaFleur with Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy with Dak? Hell no. That's an indictment, and they're concerned with his judgment. And then, by the way, and I'm not trying to pick on him here because I thought he played mostly very well. And I picked Cleveland to win close. But then Baker gets it back and checks down as time, with no timeouts, is running down, and he's checking down, throwing 6-yard completions. Then he is left with 2 or 3 Hail Marys at the end of the game, and you're never going to get a pass interference calling a Hail Mary. Refs, it's like the last play of an NBA Finals. Refs are going to swallow the whistle. Refs don't want to decide a game on a Hail Mary. Doesn't matter who bumps into who. So Stefanski is telling me what he thinks of his quarterback. Now, we know that Stefanski prefers, we know this from their games together, he prefers to manage Baker Mayfield. 27 to 32 throws. We know that. That's not an opinion by me. Baker plays better with a lead than trailing. Baker plays better managed than left to his own devices and judgment. But you know and I know, of those 2 quarterbacks on the field, the Chargers coach has far more trust than Justin Herbert, who will go for it on 4th down, and Stefanski wouldn't even really, quote, go for it on 3rd down. On the road. You play to win on the road. Remarkable. Something else that jumped out to me. Steve Ballmer of the Clippers, David Tepper of the Carolina Panthers are very much modern-day owners, tech and hedge fund guys. Those are very, as I talked about in the herd this week, those are very aggressive industries. It used to be car dealers could own pro sports franchises. Customer service, loyalty, patience. But in tech, very fluid, ever-changing. The aggressive win. Same in hedge funds. So Steve Ballmer is hyper-aggressive. Build a new arena. Go get Kawhi Leonard. Go get Paul George. Go get the right coach. And David Tepper, we've seen from his early acquisitions, is going to do the same thing. So they are making judgments on Sam Darnold week to week. They're not going to announce this privately, but I thought Darnold's pick against the Eagles on their final offensive drive was a really bad one. He threw a couple of picks against the Cowboys. One was just a great play by perhaps the best young corner in the game, Trayvon Diggs. In fact, there's no question he's the best young corner. The question is he the best corner? But I thought Darnold's interception. Now, in fairness, the Carolina Panthers O-line is egregiously bad. It's a bottom 3 to bottom 5 offensive line, and Christian McCaffrey's not there. But that's why you make decisions on Sam Darnold in situations like that. And I thought that was a really bad moment for Sam. And I've backed Sam. Is it a cognitive situation where he doesn't read the defense fast enough? Is it his slow release where he doesn't get the ball out fast enough? Either way, Matt Rule has the pressure of a hyper-aggressive owner, and I can assure you they're going to have Sam Darnold conversations this week. Something else. Both the Jags and the Raiders had very poor performances. Urban Meyer and John Gruden had very bad weeks. Regardless of what I think or you think about a coach's remarks, opinions, or actions, it generally comes down to what the locker room thinks. Dave Wanstad has told me this for years. You can lose a game, you cannot lose a locker room. I thought the Raiders were completely flat. Didn't get some officiating breaks, I'll acknowledge that, but let's get out of that space. Every fan thinks their team gets homered. The Raiders were completely flat, and the Jags got pounded by a very ordinary team with a litany of injuries, the Tennessee Titans. I think Gruden probably, regardless of my opinion, I thought his remarks were ugly, inappropriate, and certainly I would have no problem with some suspension if the league or the Raiders felt it was necessary. Urban Meyer's actions I thought were childish and tone deaf. But for the Jags to get blown out by a pretty mediocre team, I'm going to keep my eye on that one. Because of the viral video out on Urban Meyer, he's eliminated himself from many jobs in college football. Married man, at a bar, too much to drink, flirting around. He's eliminated himself from lots and lots of college jobs. You can cross him off the USC list. I don't think he's going to bail on the situation. But again, the question is the locker room emotionally going to bail on Urban Meyer? Keep your eye on it. It was a disappointing performance. The Sharps in Vegas really loved the Jags this weekend. I didn't. It's like betting the Jets. I can't. Betting the Jags, I don't have the stomach for it. But I think the Jacksonville situation is a real tinderbox. Urban probably, in my opinion, goes back to broadcasting at some point.